of February. Joe, kick us off with Marvel as you always do.
All right. So this was titled weirdly Amazing Spider Man number 88 Beyond. So I don't read the Amazing Spider Man title, but I believe they're about to start a reset.
Oh,
I
with
think.
John Romita Jr. Yeah, all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
That's what this
So
is.
that comes out the second week of February. Moon Knight number 8,
hmm
which I have to really get cranking on because I am fucking pants tent city for the show.
Read the Lemire stuff first, though.
Yes.
Read
Yes.
the
That
Lemire
is
stuff first,
that is on my
100%.
list.
That is the best stuff. There's no question after like that from all the Moon Knight stuff I've done. There is maybe I'll do something on the show at some point with like the Houston stuff. Like, there's a lot there too, and I've read all that. That came out before Lemire, and that could kind of be dealing with some similar stuff. I'm not sure. Like again, this got like comicbook.com had this as the comic of the year for 2021, and it's like wasn't even close to being. I love Moon Knight,
Yeah.
definitely like a top 10 like superhero character, like comic book character for me, and it's like I like what Jed McKay's done, but I don't think it's that groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So
It probably doesn't even crack top 25. I think we said that last week.
yeah, not for either
Right.
of us. And I know you're going to give it a look, and you should. But still, anyways, moving
So,
forward.
yeah, fuck. All right. Devil's Reign number 4, Venom number 5, Darth Vader number 20, X Deaths of Wolverine number 2. I still haven't read the first one because you told me I had to read Inferno. And I got
Mm-hmm.
about 4 pages into Inferno and I said, I can't fucking read this shit. I
You,
cannot read Hickman's X-Men. I
that's what.
just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I
You,
can't.
I gotta say, you are absolutely in the minority on this one. Like there are
I
lots.
am. I
Mhm.
just I was like, and maybe it's because I was, I was tired and cranky. I'm just like, I can't do it. It doesn't pull me in. I can't. I put it down. It's the
I
first
like
X-Men
Inferno.
book I've put down since I got back on the bandwagon there. So I'm
hmm
just gonna say fuck it. I'm just gonna read X Deaths of Wolverine number 1 without reading Inferno, and I'm just gonna go with it.
So you're
I'll
gonna
pick
have.
it up.
So I'll have to tell you what's going on. Okay, got
I'll
it.
figure it
Understood.
out, Nicholas. I'm not a dum dum.
Okay.
Well, that's to be debated. However,
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that. You said it though, not me. So
what do you-
okay. Hey, oh, Lou, we
he
got a
was.
surprise guest today.
Yeah. Oh, you can. Yeah, I thought I muted it.
Yeah, you were not. You were
I
not
was not
muted.
muted.
You were not
Oh, boy.
muted.
We have Ben Riley, Spider Man number 2,
Mhm.
Hawkeye, Kate Bishop number 4, Star Wars High Republic Trail of Shadows number 5, Devil's Reign Villains for Hire number 2, and then we have a couple of number 1s. This one kind of looks interesting, but I'm not sure. Nicholas, Secret X-Men number 1, written by
Mhm.
Teenie Howard.
Mhm.
It's the X-Men, where the Shi'ar Empire faces an unexpected threat. They must call upon the X-Men. Team co-captain Sunspot and Cannibal must lead Marrow, Temple, Forge, Banshee, Strong Guy, Armor, and Boom Boom on a secret mission to save Empress Xandra. I feel like this maybe for a younger audience. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, Boom Boom actually is a pretty cool character. In like, I think Sunspot's pretty cool, Forge, but like Cannonball being that prominent, whatever. I like Armor, Banshee, strong guy, So like, this isn't something for me that's a must read.
Yeah.
There's, we got other X-Men stuff that's coming. I mean, the Kieran Gillen stuff is going to be pretty cool, and the stuff that's supposed to involve Gambit with I believe. Psylocke, I forget what title that is, but I'm very interested in that stuff. So for this, it's like, okay, probably gonna be a pass for me. But we have one more, I think.
Yep. Maestro World War M number 1, written by Peter David. Um,
Wow,
Maybe. I don't
maybe.
know. I mean, this one just doesn't strike me as one that is, hot off the presses. But the final chapter, this is the other thing, it's the final chapter of the Maestro trilogy. So I haven't read any of that. So I'd
Yeah.
probably be lost. But it looks like we got some Doctor Doom and AIM stuff. So if you've been reading the Maestro trilogy, this is the conclusion. So this book is probably for you.
So it's probably gonna be a no for me. But if like you said, if you've been following that along, probably gonna be a must read. From DC Comics, next week we got Detective 1052, Batcat 10, Superman Son of Kal El issue 8, Joker 12. That's the final issue of Joker, right? I'm not mistaken.
It might be
Oh,
Tynan's final issue of Joker.
oh, okay. I thought it was coming to an end. I thought it was limited. Never mind. Anyways, Batman Urban Legends issue 12, which actually our pal friend of the show, Rich Keefe, we had on for the Saga special, read that first arc with the Red Hood and what was it, Red Hood and Grifter, and I think he liked the start of Red Hood at least. I don't know how far he's gotten, but anyways, Batgirls issue 3, Harley Quinn Eat Bang Kill Tour issue 6. I actually met somebody who in the course of work and whatever who's reading this, loves the show too, which I do love the show. I haven't got a chance to read this yet, but they said if you like the show, you will like this series. So good endorsement. I Am Batman issue 6, Future State Gotham 10, Pennyworth, the final issue of that, which you're going to do on the show.
Uh, we'll see. I mean, I've been enjoying it. You know, just because I really like a book doesn't always necessarily mean I'm gonna,
Fair. Totally
talk
fair.
about it on the show. But I've been enjoying the hell of it, and I can't wait to see how it wraps up.
Okay. Then we got Suicide Squad Blaze issue 1 by Cy Spurrier. I don't know what happened to that Suicide Squad story with Jason Todd. I guess that one's over or it's done or like it's
I
been on.
mean, what was it? It was Suicide Squad.
Is another Joker thing?
Yeah, I feel like we only got 2 issues. It was supposed to be more than 2 issues. That's
Yeah, I
all we
thought it was.
got so far, right? So
Yeah, so I wonder what happened there. I have to look
yeah,
into it, but anything Cy Spurrier, I'm pretty interested in. We're going to be dealing with Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark. So I might give this a little bit of a, I might give it a shot. We got Strange Love Adventures issue 1, written by quite a few different people. Justice League Annual issue 1. There's some stuff that's going to be happening with Justice League. May need to pay attention to that.
well,
One
yeah,
of
the
us.
Justice League dies, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's gonna be something else.
Yes, it's definitely a lot, but no first issues from Image that week. But what do we got from them?
Radiant Black 12,
Mm,
The Scorched number 2,
mm.
King of Spies number 3, tremendous
Oof,
series,
oof.
and
Oh,
Inked Blood. Ink Block 16. Now, you said there wasn't a lot of news this week, but in sort of overall, there was a lot of Radiant Black news that was sort of dropped over the past week or so, where this universe is expanding,
oh yeah.
Nicholas, and it's expanding in a big way, and it makes me think back to when we talked to Kyle Higgins,
Mm,
a little while back, and we've got a couple of books that we're going to talk about that are dropping this month that are
hmm.
part of that Radiant Black universe, and I got to tell you, man, I am here for it
Yeah.
because, like, I remember when I read that first issue, I said, "Yep, boom,
Hmm.
called dibs. I'm doing it." Talked about it as soon as I could, mostly because you were bitching at me because you wanted to read it. Uh,
Maybe that may be the case. I'm not sure. Sometimes that
uh,
happens. Hey, you know when to call dibs sometimes, and or maybe it's just because you sometimes take your sweet ass time with that stuff, and I want to, and I get upset. It could be one or the other. I'm not sure. Who am I to say? But also from Image, of course, Skybound is its own thing, but still part of Image. We got Redneck issue 32 coming out the week of the 9th. But I'm with you. I'm excited for this radio. Everything
yeah,
that's going on with
give me
Radiant
everything
Black.
because it's really turned into something. It really has, and
Yeah.
it's again, it's got that Power Rangers sort of vibe to it, where this is an entire universe now, where
Mm.
there's limitless possibilities with it.
And it seems like a lot of people are trying to like AWA's talked about it when we had Axel on a little like around a year ago, and we see it with other places too, where like they're trying to build their own universe, trying to do what like Marvel and DC have done, but do it for this age and this era, I should say. And for Image, like they can't go and make anybody do it necessarily, but when we know that Kyle Higgins is doing it, and then him and Ryan Parrott have are friends, as you know we talked about when we had Kyle on, and B, they have worked together in the past and done so successfully with
Yeah,
Shattered Grid. I talked about on the show and is outstanding. And then you see what Ryan's doing with over at with the rest of the Power Ranger stuff that he's been doing. Like to have those two coming together to create their own universe within Image, it's like, okay, now this is the kind of thing where you're creating your old world. This could be something even greater. And I'm with you. Like I'm totally here for it. Couldn't be more excited about the other titles we mentioned: The Scorched and King of Spies issue 3. I mean,
and
both.
there's great TV potential for Radiant Black.
Yeah, that's
Right?
100% has to. Well, you could do movie like it Kyle Higgins is in for that's a very successful run, I think, right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Parrot too, and anybody else who's tied to this, because they're going to have options.
Yeah.
They're definitely, and if they haven't already, like, this stuff hasn't already been optioned, it should have been, because sky is the limit for it. For Boom, the week of the 9th, we have Mighty Morphin issue 16. The Altarian Wars kind of coming to an end. There's going to be a switch in writer for Mighty Morphin, I think at issue 17 as well. Parrot will be staying on with Power Rangers, but not Mighty Morphin. Seven Secrets issue 14, which was the 13th issue.
Gimme.
Yep. And this is going to be next week's going to be a great week. Magic the Gathering issue 11, Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer issue 3. And then for first issues, we got one from Brian Azzarello from Boom, Faithless issue 3, number 1. The final act of Azzarello's and Lovelet's erotic thriller masterpiece. 9 months after her mysterious disappearance, Faith suddenly drops back onto the map, while the art world debates whether her disappearance was a piece of performance art or all just a publicity stunt. Faith retreats to Lewis's studio to recover her journey into the unknown. So this is obviously something that neither of us are caught up on.
Yeah,
but
this feels like a series one of us needs to read.
Yep, I
and
was just
potentially
like,
talk on the show, because it's and again, it's one of those naughty books. I think you go to the comic store, you buy it, it's in the Mylar Mylar bag. So, but again, it's I think it's along those lines where, yeah, this is a pretty popular book. It's
yeah.
a pretty successful book. One of us should definitely think about reading it.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll have to figure it out we'll have to go give that a peek a little bit at some point and move forward from there. What about Dark Horse?
We have Last Flight Out number 4, which has been a great series. Apache Delivery Service number 2, Daisy number 3, and then for number 1s we have Neil Gaiman's
Yep, you got
Norse
it. Yeah, there you go.
Mythology 3, issue 1. Today, Junior.
It is Northern Europe, so like you're kind of close,
Yeah.
but
And so that's just more Gaiman just sort of taking that Norse mythology and throwing it into comic book form. And then we have Hellboy in the BRPD 1959 or 57 or whatever, number 1.
yeah, I'm the resident Hellboy guy, and I'm behind so much on Hellboy right now.
It feels like there's a new Hellboy title every week.
Yeah, and I
or
don't
every
and
month.
I,
It's
and I
like
don't
too much.
mind, like, it is, but they're all like little like short stories. So
Yeah.
I'm totally in on doing that kind of stuff for this character because he's a legacy character, kind of like what we're getting with Black, White, and Blood. But I think there was just like a pause for me, and there was a pause on the title where things got a little confusing. So I've just missed out on a lot with Hellboy in of recent. So it's kind of frustrating. I would like to go back to the character, but there's just so much other really good stuff out there where it's like if you fall by the wayside or you're gone for a bit, unless you're one of those top number 1 books for me, same thing with you, right?
Yeah.
It gets lost in the pile. But anyways, I'll move quickly through these last others. We have Star Wars Adventures issue 14 from IDW to kick off that title for the week of the 9th. TMNT Best of Jenica, which we've only gotten so much of Jenica, so not sure if I'm going to be picking that up.
Yeah,
My
it's
Little
just
Pony,
everything she's done.
yeah, My Little Pony Generations issue 5, which I'm expecting a report back from Violet at some point. And then for first issues, we got Rick and Morty versus D&D, the Meeseeks Adventures issue 1 by Jim Zub. Not sure about that, but like I'm not a Rick and Morty guy or Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're into either of those, though,
I mean, I love Rick and Morty. I'm not reading Rick and Morty comics though.
okay, well, you're right. From AW, we got the Fourth Man issue 2, which we are both reading. Really enjoyed the first issue. Hotel issue 3. Issue 2 was the one issue that we've had from this title that we were both like, eh. So
Yeah.
really hoping for a strong bounce back. Titan, Blade Runner 2029 continues for you. Vault, we're getting the second issue of Radio Apocalypse finally. It's been a while since we read that 1st issue. And then Aftershock, I read the first issue of Bylines and Blood, thought it was solid. Gonna give the second one a read. Definitely needs to knock my socks off, or at least be better than the last issue for me to stick on with this title. We move to the week of the 16th, though, Joe, and again, you kick us off with Marvel.
All right. So, fairly light week for them in terms of continuing books. We have X-Men number 8, Dark Ages number 5, Hulk number 4. I mean, they're all bangers. Hulk number 4, X Lives of Wolverine number 3, Black Widow 14, Elektra, Black, White, and Blood number 2, and King Conan number 3. So Though, I mean, I haven't read King Kong yet. I plan on it.
That's right. Yeah.
I haven't read Elektra or Black Widow, but I'm telling you, X-Men, Dark Ages, Hulk, X-Lives. Oh man, that's a
Yeah.
murderer's row for Marvel right
The
there.
Electro one was good. I did. I think I read when we talked about the first one. I read the first story, and then I went back and finished the rest of it because it's like 3 per for most of these, if not all of the Black, White, and Bloods. But yeah, I enjoyed that first one, so I'm definitely reading the second one of that.
And then we have a couple of number ones here. We have Marvel Voices Legacy number 1, Victor LaValle, Cody Ziegler, and L. So this is another. They've been doing these, Marvel Voices books, and they're all. I don't know. I haven't been reading them. They got a plethora of authors, a bunch of short stories in each book. So if you're into that, check that out. Our another friend of the show, Kieran Gillen, is writing another Eternals book, The
Mm,
Undying number 1. And then Nicholas, you seem to be interested in this one, Iron
yeah,
Fist number 1 by
yeah. It's
Alyssa Wong.
we got a new Iron Fist in play, so I'm thinking about giving this a shot. Who is this new Iron Fist? After giving up his power to save this world, Danny Rand believes he's seen the last of the Iron Fist. But when demons begin to attack cities around the world, a mysterious newcomer in a familiar mask appears. Look, I'm not an Iron Fist guy. I'm not a Danny Rand guy, but I might give this a shot just to see what this first issue looks like. Maybe Danny Rand's part of the problem. Maybe he just kind of stinks, and that's why I don't want to stick on with it. Nobody really wants to read the character
100%
more.
he stinks.
So I'm willing to give this a look at least, but I'm by no means committing to this. One thing I do want to say, like I tried reading the Kieran Gillen's first like Eternals title. He's done a bunch of different stuff with those characters. Clearly, he's been successful because they're sticking him with this. I just couldn't get into those characters, but I'm wondering if maybe at some point, maybe you want to go back and check it out because I'm just like, if he's doing so much, and then we're getting like teases about there being Eternals versus X-Men stuff coming up, where the X-Men are like deviants, like which we learned about in the movie. I mean, that sounds pretty interesting. So I'm not sure, but it's I'm not sure like why the Eternal stuff. I guess just that the characters, I just don't care about them enough, and because it's not Kieran's writing. We love like what
Yeah.
pretty much we read from Kieran. So, but anyways, we move forward to DC, who does not have any first issues coming out this week from based on what we saw from our research. We do get Detective Comics 1053 on the week of the 16th, Nightwing 89, which we've been enjoying, Justice League 72, and then Batman the Night issue 2, really good first issue from Chip Zdarsky. High hopes for the second one. What about Image?
Okay, Image. We have King Spawn number 7. We have Spawn 327. Primordial number 6, which I have to catch up on. I have to read Primordial number 5.
Mm.
The Silver Coin number 9. The Scorched number 3. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance number 5. Sweet Paprika number 8. Nita Hawes blog number 5. Bolero number 2. A Man Among Ye number 8. And Deep Beyond number 12, which I believe is the finale.
Yeah,
So again,
well, I
hell
want
of
to
a
say
week.
before you say a hell of a week, there are probably some things like having 2 spawns in 1 week. That has happened, I think, but I feel like there's gonna be some
Mm,
adjustments there,
yeah.
based on some of the stuff that I saw just in like two
Same thing with
titles
with Nita
need a
Hawes too, right? Yeah.
exactly. So I think there might have been a couple hiccups when I was looking through for this week,
God
but
damn it, Nicholas. You got one
well,
job.
yeah, well, hey, I wish. But we do have a first issue that I think this is the correct week that it's coming. Actually, no, it has to be coming out this week based
Yeah.
on what's coming out the following week. But Supermassive issue 1, Kyle Higgins, Ryan Parrott, and Matt Broom. Take it away, Joseph.
Yeah, so we mentioned this earlier with the Radiant Black universe expanding. This is the first spin-off that we get. And so the superhero crossover event of 2022, spinning out of 2021's hottest new superhero debut, Radiant Black, launches into its first crossover event ever with Image Comics' debut of Inferno Girl Red and the first appearance of Rogue Sun.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The future of Image's superhero universe is here. Power
Mm,
Rangers, Shattered Grid, or blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
I'm fucking pumped and jacked for this book. It
Mm-hmm.
should be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
The cover art for it, when it looks, the covers looks tremendous. And Higgins and Parrott, they are just an absolute dynamic duo. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what they've got cooking here.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
went and dominated with Power Rangers, and now they've got their own thing going, man. And I could not be more excited. And Image is clearly all in on this,
As they
and
should be.
that's a great sign. That is a great sign. So that means Kyle said like Radiant Black is going to just keep coming out as long as you want it. Like Ordinary Gods, it will have like a definitive ending. But Radiant Black's just around as long as he's enjoying it and readers are enjoying it and it's making money. So I mean, this is just going to keep going from here. So could not be more excited for this. We can fly through these other titles before we get to the final week of February. Power Rangers issue 16. That again, Parrot is still going to be on that title. Angel issue 2. I was going to read the first issue of this. Still haven't done it yet, so hopefully I will by the time this one comes out. We'll see. TMNT 126, GI Joe 289, and then we also get GI Joe: A Real American Hero Saturday Morning Adventures issue 1 by Eric Burnham. So maybe if you enjoyed that show as a kid or the toys, maybe this is a good way to introduce to your kids. But for me, I'm not a GI Joe guy, never have been. So not going to be giving this a look at all. AWA, The Crimson Cage, issue 3, which you are reading this and really enjoyed both the first 2 issues, right?
I still have to catch up on the second issue, but the first
Okay.
issue was tremendous.
I remember you loved that one.
Yep.
Definitely, and hopefully has potential for you to talk about on the show, so you can sell me, a non-wrestling guy, on this. Vault, The Last Book You'll Ever Read, issue 6, and then from Aftershock Cross to Bear, issue 4. And I did enjoy the first 2 issues of that. So maybe we'll see. That one could be talked about on the show. I got to go back, and it's been a while since I read all those because it was kind of a binge for me. But anyways, we move to the last week of February. The Wednesday is going to be the 23rd that week. Start us off with Marvel.
So we've got X Deaths of Wolverine number 3, She-Hulk number 2, Black Panther number 4, Devil's Reign X-Men number 2, Silk number 2. This one might be a typo. Shang-Chi number 9, because we just got Shang-Chi number 8.
Could be. Maybe.
Silver Surfer Rebirth number 2. And then we got a couple of number 1s here, Nicholas, that are ones to look out for. So first, Carnage Forever number 1 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Ram V, and Ty Templeton. I mean, Ram V's associated with it. I'm probably going to give it a go.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge Carnage guy. I mean, I love the stuff that was tied in. Obviously, Absolute Carnage with the Donny Cates stuff there. But typically, Carnage isn't a book I'm going to pick up. But I love Ron V's writing. He is very thoughtful and very very talented. So I might give this one a peek. But one of the ones I'm looking forward to is Devil's Reign Spider-Man number 1. This is one of the few Devil's Reign spinoffs I'm gonna check out. The events of Devil's Reign have put Spidey in an awful position. As if that weren't enough, the newly returned Rose has Spidey in his crosshairs and wants to prove that he's better than his dad, Kingpin, ever was. So I've got some intrigue in this one for sure.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm probably going to have to give this one a read too, just because I'm reading as much. The only Devil's Reign stuff I haven't read yet, aside from being behind this week, is the X-Men one. So, and I intend on reading all of it because it's not like this crazy wild like event that's just so far reaching and messing everything up. So I'm still going to give. I plan on giving this one a read. But the one I'm most excited about, Joe, the first issue that's coming out this week, is Ghost Rider issue 1, which is your background this week from our guy Benjamin Percy. Johnny Blaze has the perfect life: a wife and 2 kids, a job at an auto repair shop, and a small town community that supports him. But Johnny isn't doing well. He has nightmares of monsters when he sleeps, and he sees bloody visions when he's awake. This life is beginning to feel like a prison. So Benjamin Percy, look, he is kicking ass with Wolverine. It's awesome. We had him on the show a while back. Go listen to that. Like he's like in tune with that character, and
that character.
It's not necessarily an easy thing to do with Wolverine because of just like how important that character is, and getting him right. It's a big deal. People are going to let you know if that's not the case. And he's continuing with that character after X Lives and X Deaths. Ghost Rider is another one that I feel like is a tough character to necessarily get right. Of course, on the big screen, had his issues. But this is a character that like I think has a ton of potential with Johnny Blaze. Robbie Ray is the same capacity too, similar capacity too. Just the idea of the character is cool. The look of the character is cool. So to have but Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, I know this at least, he's of a similar vein to Wolverine in the sense like he gets dark, he gets gritty, he does shit that other people don't want to do. So you're going to give this character to Benjamin Percy to handle right now. I have the ultimate faith in him to
Yeah.
get this right. 100%.
Yeah.
Very
Excited as hell.
excited.
Excited as hell.
So a book maybe we'll talk about more down the line. As we move to DC, we have Detective Comics 1054, which has been was a weekly title. Action Comics 1040, Robin 11, DC versus Vampires 5. Spoke about it earlier. It's been awesome. Human Target 5, which you've been enjoying that from. Who is it again that's writing that? I can't recall.
Tom King. I'll tell you once, and I'll tell you a million times. I enjoy Tom King, Nicholas.
Yep. Yeah.
Just stay the fuck away from Batman. How many times I gotta tell you this?
I guess maybe probably one more at least. But
At least.
Task Force Z issue 5, which second issue was better than the first. Still not knocking my socks off, but I'll go back at some point maybe because it's got Red Hood. But a little disappointed. Deathstroke Inc. issue 6, really enjoying that title. Aquaman, Green Arrow, Deep Target issue 5. I still got to read issue 4, but I've enjoyed that. Speaking of Aquaman, we have Aquaman. When a suicide bomber in Middle America is revealed as an Atlantean sleeper agent seemingly gone rogue, the Aquamen, Arthur Curry, and Jackson Hyde are on the case. But it soon becomes clear that the tragedy was not just a single bad actor, but they're not talking about Jason Momoa, I don't think, when they say that. But the beginnings of a much larger and more dangerous chain reaction. So
Put some goddamn respect on Momoa's name, will you?
He made me want. He's part of the reason why I would give this a chance, because we have Arthur Curry in it, and I enjoy his portrayal of Arthur Curry because it's a character who normally I don't give a shit about.
Aquaman stinks.
Yeah, I'll give this a look though. I will give this a look, and I forgot to write down who the writer of this is. But we move forward.
I got one thing to say real quick before we move on. I can't wait for the Batman to come out. I've purposely stopped watching. I'm not watching any more trailers or clips or any of that stuff. I have one fear that Tom King's Batcat, in his run of Batman is going to have influence over like where this story goes. And if that's the case, I'm going to fucking lose it.
Well,
I don't know why. Like that hit me. Like the last time I watched, whatever the first trailer was they dropped, I haven't watched the second one. I was like, oh, they're gonna do the Batcat shit. Oh god. If they're pulling from King's Batman here, God.
They had a relationship beforehand. They're not. I mean, it doesn't mean they have to pull just because they're doing Batman, Catwoman, love stuff. Doesn't mean that they have to be doing that.
That I know. I'm just saying that's my fear. I didn't say it was rational, and I didn't say it was based on anything. I just it hit me like a ton of bricks. Going, oh fuck. I don't want to not like this movie, Nicholas. I really don't.
I think you're getting in your own head here.
Probably.
But I could be wrong. I'm hoping you're wrong. But we move forward. I'm still. I know some of the other guys in DSG are doing the same thing. They're not watching any of the trailers, and I can understand that. But for me, I'm just not worried about it. I think they have a great feel for this character. But anyways, we move forward to Image for the week of the 23rd. What do we got?
We have Saga 56.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, their return was so good, Nick. Issue 55 was so freaking good. I mean, I think we talked about in the Saga special. My only fear was after such a long layoff, are they going to be able to still identify with these characters and keep keep the train going, if you will? And man, they did. It was Saga Saga.
That should have been in our catching up. We both read that after last week's
episode.
You didn't even think about that. Yeah, totally forgot. It was just because it was the first thing that we read on New Comic Day, because we didn't get
it seems like forever ago.
Yeah, and then just as a reminder for people, that may be a reoccurrence for us, unfortunately, on the show, because we do the show on Tuesdays, and I don't know if Saga is going to be handing out review copies because they don't need the pub.
No, clearly they don't. Department of Truth 16, Gunslinger Spawn number 5, Philadelphia making its return, baby. The last week of February, and then we have a couple of number ones here. We've got Rockstar and Soft Boy. Is that the new name of the Mac and Goo program?
Oh, maybe. Rockstar and Soft Boy. That's perfect. Yeah, that works. That's perfect. It absolutely sums them up. The listeners can figure out who's who.
Yeah. And then we have another book by Cy Spurrier dropping that last week of February. Step by Bloody Step number 1. I was getting confused with the TGIF home run of a show. An armored giant and a helpless child. Together they cross an astonishing world brimming with beasts, bandits, and deadliest by far civilizations. I almost said breasts. And if they stop walking, the earth itself forces them onwards. Why? The child can't ask. This sounds weird, but I'm in. She and her guardian have no language, no memory, nothing except each other. Multiple Eisner Awards, Salisbury, blah, 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 blah. So this one sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a read, but the one from Image Comics outside of Saga that we are both most excited about is Rogue Sun Issue One. That's coming out the week of the 23rd from Ryan Parrott, and Abel is the artist. And we've seen some of Abel's work on like the comics and the covers, and whoa, like I love the feel of.
And we may or may not have gotten advanced copies of this, man.
May or may not have, and it's some pretty good stuff. We'll leave it at that, and we'll read the synopsis for you a little bit. Yesterday, New Orleans' greatest hero, Rogue Sun, was murdered. Today, rebellious teenager Dylan Siegel discovers that Rogue Sun was his estranged father, Marcus, and that he's inherited his father's mantle. Tasked with protecting our world from the forces of the supernatural and solving his father's murder, Dylan will be forced to come to terms with the man he spent the majority of his life hating. So I'm in on this. The art on this 100%. Looks awesome. Ryan Parrott is an outstanding writer, so anytime he's doing something, I'm naturally going to be interested in this. So we don't need to tell you guys any further on that one, but maybe we will at some point down the line. But anyways, from Boom, Joe, we got Berserker 7, your favorite title. Actually, great week for you. Boom, from Boom has Berserker 7, and then House of Slaughter issue 5. Power Rangers Universe issue 3. I was disappointed with the first one. I don't think I'm going to read the second one. Then we have all new Firefly issue 1 from David M. Boer, which I'm not Firefly guy. Are you?
I was saying Boo Earns. No, I'm not a Firefly guy. No, I'm a Firefly guy. I love the TV show. I tried reading the comics. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Right. That's okay. I remember you saying that. Okay. What do we got from Dark Horse for the week of the 23rd?
More Hellboy and the BRPD 1957 Falling Sky #1. I feel like maybe all these little short stories should just be put in one big sort of omnibus and released at once. Seems like maybe the best way to get that across.
Maybe.
And then just a couple other publishers real quick. We've got IDW, TMNT, The Last Ronin #5, Nicholas. It's only been 5 years.
Yep. Unreal. It's been long. The break between last issue of Last Ronin and Saga has felt like the same amount of time.
Yeah. Usagi Yojimbo, Lone Goat, and the Kid #2. And then we have a couple #1, Star Trek Klingons #1, and Transformers World End #1. From AWA, we have Out #5 and Telepaths #6. I believe that's the finale of both those series. And then from Vault, we have the Rush #4, which has been awesome. We have We Ride Titans #2, which I have the first issue upstairs. I haven't read yet, but I'm planning on it. And then we have a #1, Fox and Hare #1. And then to round things out, Nicholas, for the last week of February, from Aftershock, The Heathens #4. I started to read #1. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking to catch up on this series and report back and hopefully maybe talk about it on the show.
Yeah, that I've given you a chance to look at that one first, but I am interested in that 100%. The last thing that I'm actually trying to prepare for on the fly before we get out of here, that is the end of our solicit.